map they can rely upon, and that makes it difficult because, you know, certainly could allow OpTic to 2-0 if they're not careful. Either way, we're into the pistol round already here, and seems like mid-control early was the aim for LG, although just as I say that, they're making their way back around, so let's see what LG have in mind for this round, because this is very interesting and a little bit unorthodox, I would say.
Yeah, what they want to do is, I think, just make a lot of noise in mid and then bait out the push on A side and want to see if they go for aggression. If they do so, they're actually going to get a free kill. The funny thing is that Alu is going for aggression now when they already rotated towards B. The thing is, it still might work out though. LG opting towards B, only one player, and Kitchen. Other players rotating in though. Oh, they know it now, and look at the rotation on the minimap. LG taking their sweet time, and OpTic, they are ready.
Yeah, Freiburg was waiting patiently for his team to come over, and Magisk is here as he finds a second headshot. The bomb will go down towards the site, and Cello is in advanced position, so this Glock could push forwards and find some kills, and indeed it does! 2 kills for Cello as he swings back around to spot out Alu, who is stuck in a 1-on-3, but he gets himself a quick headshot himself. Down to a 1-on-2 now, but still doesn't exactly know where both players are. However, now he does! As Alu gets the second headshot, he's looking for the final kill. Pushes forwards, Alu spraying away, but Cello takes him down. However, great effort from Alu, nearly finding that headshot at the end there, and a very explosive start to this game.
What a crazy headshot, but in the end, LG, they played this round really well, got those first, especially Cello King stepping up, taking 3 kills for himself. I mean, OpTic Gaming, they had all the information they need. Of course, the timing could have been a little bit better, but you already can be happy knowing that this is going to be a B push. LG took the time and you were thinking, like, okay, OpTic Gaming, they have the information now. They're going to rotate in, they're going to catch LG off guard. Didn't work out, and with this, they're going to take an all-important pissed round. They actually did on an Inferno too, though, and they didn't follow up on it, so they really need to do so, but Showtime is going to get the first frag, and that's a good sign for LG.
Yeah, they're going to push towards B, though, and again, there's a fair few players here from OpTic, and there is HS finding a headshot. Mixwell gets himself a kill also, and there's Mixwell finding another Deagle headshot for the team. The Deagle's doing the work so far as we go back to a 2-on-2. And look at the positioning of Magisk. He is coming through for the flank. PKL needs to win out, but Magisk gets the kill. And we go back to a 1-on-1. This is exactly how LG lost that round on Inferno. They lost against the Force, and it costed them so much as Magisk nearly gets that frag, but Yell is able to fall back to the A bomb site. And again, this would be such a disaster if LG were to yet again lose to this Force buy, but Yell will get the bomb down. Magisk himself, though, has the AK in his hands, and this is scary now for Yell, who is forced to fall back. However, he's got a fairly good position to watch towards the bomb. At the same time, Magisk has this Molotov, so that gives himself a chance to maybe just try and molly it out and get the defuse. But again, without the kit, that's unlikely to be able to happen. As Magisk makes his way forward, he's going to use that Molotov to just clear a position at the back of the site. However, now he doesn't really have a strong idea as to where Yell is from, so as the fake defuse comes in, Yell himself will peek up towards the bomb, realise there's no defuse, but he fires off a shot. That gives away his positioning there, so now Magisk knows he's in towards a ramp, but it seems like the time has just gone down too far, and without the defuse kit, Magisk is forced to just save. But again, all things considered, I think OpTic will be fairly happy with how close they took that round, and Magisk did have the chance to win it at the end there. He just doesn't quite get the positioning right.
Yeah, time wasn't there. I feel like Yell just accidentally hit his mouse button, that was it, so in the end gave away his position, but he knew. Time-wise, he has done it. He won the round for LG. It was way too close for comfort though. But with this, it's 2-0. OpTic Gaming, they're gonna get some pistols into this round, and they have Magisk on the AK who could make the difference, but Luminosity going towards B yet again. Interestingly enough, something to point out here is that HS is still playing with the 5-7. Everyone is playing with the ZZ. Let's see how HS makes the 5-7 work.
Oh, a team kill coming in there, except it was Mixwell to steal the kill away, but Neckers did some team damage. Either way, the B site is claimed fairly easily, as you would expect. Magisk was over towards A with the AK. However, he does rotate over now. Could be worth saving that AK for a future round, especially as his teammates go falling all across the board. Magisk himself will go for a peek. There is a quick headshot over from Kitchen. That, of course, does give away his positioning with that AK. So as he thinks about making his way forward, you would think that Magisk would just go for the save at this point. There's no real reason to push forwards without the kit. He doesn't really have a chance to do anything, but he's still sticking around, possibly trying to keep the Brazilians' economy low. As he holds off towards bench, the peek will come out. Not quite connecting with the kill, though. Magis now will be taken down. That's the AK lost, but Alu himself gets another AK elsewhere. So OpTic may just be able to save one rifle into the next round. But again, not too important. They will certainly still add the buy into the next round either way. But a nice little AK saved for Alu to help out just a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, just definitely taking a lot of risk there, but knowing that he can buy up anyways, he just wants to get more frags. Got taken down in the end, but luckily Alu still can get an AK from the players of LG, and in the end OpTic Gaming, I mean, they can be really happy with the frags. They got 3 frags for them. Luminosity will be the night to just stack up a lot of economy, and out of this, OpTic Gaming are gonna get their buy round and potentially an early money reset here. Luminosity definitely not through this yet.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Mixwell has that AWP instead of Alu, which seemed kind of weird.
Yeah,
he didn't even really have a spawn for mid, but decides to pick it up.
Well, I mean, they're both players which can perform well with the rifle, but I'm feeling like Alu is the better AWPer in this case. But let's see what Mixwell can do. Maybe they have their thoughts behind it. Maybe Alu just doesn't like Mirage, who knows? Or maybe Mixwell was just like, Alu, trust me, give me the AWP. Just this one round. I will mad frag. Oh, let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen. I mean, it might just be an exception where he gets the AWP in those next rounds. Alu just gonna take over the AWP yet again.
Yeah, Luminosity taking this round fairly slowly. And OpTic themselves are sort of lacking in terms of utility, of course. That often happens in these sort of early CT buys. When you go for the force in round 2, you don't particularly have the money for the full nades. And so as the time ticks down, OpTic will mainly just have to rely on their aim to hold off the sights and possibly some crossfires. And as the B split is likely to come through, Alu is the first port of the hold, and he does get taken down quickly by Cello, so now Freiberg has it all to do. He's holding this off angle as he lets the first man cross through, however he decides to pull back to the site, and as he goes down, the B site is completely lost from OpTic's perspective. HS, the only player anywhere near, at the very least gets one kill back. But the bomb will be planted, and in a 3-on-4, retaking this B site is very difficult, especially as everyone is from kitchen. So it might even be worth saving from this point for OpTic if they don't find a quick kill.
Yeah, they also don't really have utility. Plus Alu, that was the player with the only defuse kit, and he dropped it in ladder room. So it's so hard to retake it. And in the end, OpTic, they just tried to get this one kill, hope for Luminosity to give it away. Wasn't happening, and with this, Luminosity is gonna follow up with another round. Looking at the money of OpTic Gaming, it's gonna be the 4-round loser bonus, so they're gonna get $2,900 on money they already have. Alu, he saved the AK, so he had some extra money. He's gonna be able to buy up without a problem. They have an AWP saved, so they definitely can buy into this round. One player will have a lower buy. Actually, I mean, HS could drop an M4, but then he wouldn't have that much utility. But I think it would be worth it, or else they can just drop a FAMAS or an MP7. Well, that's an SMG I don't really often see. I mean, I saw more and more MP9 or also Mac-10 after the UMP changes. Some were experimenting with the MP7, but in the end, I felt like it's just an SMG which is too expensive. But maybe Freiberg prefers it over the FAMAS, because there are some players who just dislike the FAMAS and don't want to play with it at all.
Yeah, I think the FAMAS is pretty good, but it's all, of course, at the end of the day, down to personal preference. Either way, push coming in, and Magis will go down early. I wouldn't have minded him having a second player behind to try and find the trade there, because as he pushes forwards, he just kind of gives away himself as the first kill, and now Luminosity have a fairly good position to play from. They are the double AWPs, of course, on the OpTic side, which is certainly a good decision, I think. When you've got both Alu and Mixwell in the mix, there's always the chance for them to step up, and Alu is holding off towards mid, and he gets that first kill. I also like this double AWPs because I feel like Alu and Mixwell are kind of different sort of style of AWPers. Alu seems, you know, fairly passive quite often in terms of just holding back, whereas Mixwell can go for those peaks if needed. So that's something that's nice for OpTic, but Luminosity seem to be making their way back around the map over towards the A side.
And there's only one player on the A side towards CT. Alu actually also going for the rotation towards the B side, so OpTic Gaming, they have a really bad read on this. Smokes are coming in. And look at PKL, he's still unconnected. He's gonna get another frag, and with this, LG should take just another round unless Mixwell is stepping up. He's gonna get one, so it's back to a 3-on-3.
Yeah, that's that explosive AWP style we were talking about. Peeks up quickly, and he's still rattling off shots, nearly connecting, but Nekis takes him down first. And so now Alu and Freiberg have to make their way forwards. Freiburg is from connector, but there's a player towards jungle as well as one in towards sandwich, so it's so difficult for him to push forwards past. Instead, it's mainly going to be up to Alu to see if he can find an angle, but as Freiburg goes forward, the smoke will help him out as he pushes his way up. He could isolate Showtime here, and he does drop onto his head and find the kill. We go back to a 2v2, but Alu already falls to PKL, and they don't expect Neckers to still be under woods. So LG get that round on the board again, and the double ops doesn't quite work for OpTic, as they didn't really have too much of a hold towards that A side of the map. They still took it fairly close, to be fair, but a 5-0 lead for LG, and I think this is the best chance for LG, you know, just getting out to this strong lead after such a dominant map previously. That's really going to help their mindset heading into their own pick, and OpTic are just down to pistols.
Yeah, OpTic not really looking good at the start of this map. Mirage is definitely Luminosity's territory so far. And you can definitely see why they picked that, even over Train, which they won against OpTic yesterday. And let's see if they can push that through for a longer time than just those 5 rounds. OpTic still has a chance to actually come back into this one, but obviously this is looking like a round for Luminosity, which are looking already finding the first kilometers. They just found as well, so Luminosity without a problem in this round. We have 1 player in mid, 2 towards B. A is actually completely open. Luminosity playing a rather slow game, just want to make sure they check every corner and won't get surprise fragged by OpTic Gaming, which could actually make them lose the round. Probably also some throwbacks to the last round of Inferno. Alu is going to peek again, and he's actually finding a kill here.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird jump, but he finds the frag either way and gets an AK as his reward. Still though, the A site looking very, very open, as the only player there, Mixwell, will be dropped down by Cello. And so at this point, Alu likely to just save that AK. Freiburg himself with the 5-7. Again, generally seeing the CZs, but he's sticking true with the 5-7, and maybe he should have switched to the CZ, because Yell just takes him down. Just going to be Alu left, of course, and he will look to save the AK, but it's not too important again. OpTic have such a big losing bonus that they will get the buy into the next round. I guess the main bonus is the fact that when you are holding the angle with that AK, you can be much more confident in just, you know, finding a one-shot headshot. That's always a possibility, and so that would be a nice little save. Also, if they want to go for those double AWPs, that makes things easier in terms of their money. So, seems like Alu will be able to save. Even though LG have a fair amount of money, they're not hunting him down too aggressively. Still though, 6-0 down, and OpTic are going to need to string some rounds together because, you know, as soon as they win one round, if they run the risk of losing the next, their economy could go into tatters. So this round fairly important at this point, and we could see those double AWPs come out again.
Yeah, are actually going for this tactical timeout. They have this AK picked up. Alu potentially could go for another AWP. Mixwell is already picking one up. We saw Mixwell somehow being the main AWP on Mirage, at least for this one round, and then they also went for the double up setup, which didn't work out as well. I mean, if you actually speak about that, you notice OpTic Gaming, they tried a lot and it never worked out. Luminosity always won the aim duels or got the read on them, and it seems like we won't have the double up setup this time. Mixwell is gonna be the AWPer for OpTic Gaming on Mirage here, so that's kind of confirmed. Guess they like to switch it up depending on the map, and Mixwell just feels more comfortable with the AWP. That's what I would guess. Luminosity have all those AKs and all the utility and all the money they need. And if you check the scoreboard, yes, that's a lot of money, especially on Neckers. And the push is coming through, and Mixwell, he's having the AWP and he's finding a kill. That is so important for OpTic Gaming right now.
Yeah, LG are just going to line up this B push by the looks of things, but Mixwell is going to get into position just in time as he finds another frag on the round. The smoke comes in to mask his vision, but as the push continues, there's still plenty of OpTic players ready to shut this down. But Neckers himself gets a quick headshot on towards Freiburg. So as the push continues, actually LG decide to fall back. It looked like they were very committed to that B site there, and Magisk is already pushed into T spawn. So if they were to try and rotate back around to A, Magisk would certainly be able to spot that out and cut them off. Looks like Mixwell was thinking about switching to a rifle, but he's going to stick with the AWP for the time being. After getting those 2 opening kills, you can certainly understand why, but there is a gap in the OpTic defense right now over towards mid, and so there's a possibility LG could try to push towards a site off the back of that, but OpTic's still in fairly good positions towards the A site, even if that were to come through. So tough to see where LG can push forwards, but we'll get to see where they attempt to push forwards any second now as they make their way out mid.
And right now, OpTic actually really opting for the mid control. They have no player in mid. So those nades are actually giving it away for OpTic that there are players in mid, else they wouldn't have had any clue this is happening. Push towards short coming up. OpTic Gaming still has no information where the players are going. Now they should have Mixwell finding the third frag of the round.
Yeah, going so big with that AWP, and him stepping up could make a huge difference. The bomb tries to make its way, but Mixwell just lands every single shot. He won't quite get the ace as Alu steals it away from him, but I'm sure he won't be too bothered about that one because he did more than enough for his team there with that AWP. I mean, they were fairly easy shots for Mixwell at the same time. It didn't really seem like LG had the ability to find the trade or try and flash him off those positions, and so that kind of costed them in that position, and now they have to deal with the double AWPs. So if they do struggle against AWPs like they did in the previous round, that could become an issue for them here, as Alu picks up one as well, and Mixwell's going to go out aggressively towards mid, peeking through on the edge of this smoke, and as the flash comes in, he lands the leg shot, and here comes the nade in towards Nekiz. Perfect opening yet again from Mixwell.
Yeah, perfect opening indeed, and OpTic Gaming actually switching up their CT style right now. It's not allowing Luminosity to read them as they push out of ramp. They actually have no player for mid control. Well, Alu is helping out to cover connector and short at the same time, but that's kind of it for the mid control. Mixer was joining by as well, so they kind of have the AWP crossfire. But if Luminosity wants, they could actually just walk down mid and then try to push up and connect. Only that won't be allowed. HS pushed up towards ramp. Gonna get a lot of information for his team, especially if the time starts ticking and Luminosity either won't check the corner or actually is going towards B. Then they're gonna have a lot of information out of this. And maybe, oh look at this, maybe if Jello King just walks into his crosshair, that's gonna be the bomb without any refrag potential. And there we go, that's the bomb dropped, and a lot of information for OpTic. 30 seconds to work with, and that is best happening for OpTic Gaming right now. I'm just gonna get another kill. It's not looking good for LG in this round.
Yeah, desperate flash through the smoke. HS will easily find that kill. And I'm actually fairly impressed with HS there. After getting his team the two-man advantage, he just decides to play safe rather than trying to commit to holding the bomb. And with such little time left, I think that was clearly the best option. Whereas I think a few players might just try and stick around, lock down that bomb. He just decides to fall back, realizing the two-man advantage is more than enough. So now at Yell, the last man left will just save the AWP. And, well, heading into the next round now, Luminosity are going to have to buy, but I don't think it's going to be perfect, even with that saved AWP.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting to see HS playing like that, because he's kind of the talent you have in the team, the new upcoming talent. He was in Penta, now known as Seed before, and then he was joining OpTic from there. But you normally would expect them to do a lot of mistakes, but he's actually playing really, really smart. There is falling back, playing a safe game, and that's great to see. And now HS gonna take another early kill just when we talk about him. But LG with a fast one this round.
Yeah, they take control of the A site fairly quickly thanks to that kill from Showtime. However, HS is still here watching towards the site itself. The nades are doing a decent job though at locking OpTic out of the positions, but the bomb is still yet to be planted. And that might become an issue as HS swings out over the top of the smoke to deny that bomb. Yell himself found a kill, as does Showtime, so back to a 2-on-2 out of nowhere. And Showtime and Yell still have a chance to clutch this through for their team. Because you can see HS has decided to rotate all the way back around. Not really too close to the action, but as I say that, he finds Showtime, catching him off guard for the 4K. And now Yell, the one man left, has to try and clutch with an AWP. The bomb is dropped again out in the open towards the sites, but OpTic are going to seemingly let him have the bomb. Peek's going to come out here from Alu, and Yell might be holding the right position, but the timing is just a little bit off for him. And now as he gets spotted out, Yell's going to have to switch to that CZ to look for the kill. 40 seconds left. He's going to make his way towards E here, and this is a smart play, but he might not expect HS to be lurking.
Wow.
Who finds the ace. Perfect round again. And you're just seeing individuals step up in these rounds for OpTic, and that seems to be making the difference for them.
Yeah, and just when we talk about him and point out how smart he plays, he's also showing his individual skill, taking an ace in this round. And he actually made this rotation because he saw Showtime and killed him and thought he wants to rotate towards B. That's why he actually went for this rotation. And even if it didn't pay off at that point, it actually paid off because LG in the end still wanted to go towards B, knowing Alu is over there, knowing where HS was last. And out of this, they had no clue that HS is in kitchen. And even if it was not the perfect play in the beginning. It worked into HS favor, but that is an important kill for Yell here. To take an early frag on HS, but look at Magisk Boy might step up. Also gonna get traded, so it's a 3 versus 3. And LG, they're actually on an eco. So that is a good sign for them. Taking some money away and maybe even getting a bomb plant. Or maybe even a round out of that.
Yeah, Magis didn't quite seem ready for the push there. He was just kind of stuck out in the open, and so he got taken down fairly easily after finding the 2 kills. And there goes Alu switching to the CZ rather than the AWP. Nekis at least finds 1 kill, but as the AK is lost, PKL with just a P250 is left in a 1-on-2. Alu is low on health, but there's Mixwell to make sure Alu doesn't have to take any risks as he finds that kill with the AWP. And OpTic, I mean, ever since they, sort of got these double AWPs going, it seems like that's been the catalyst for them to really start this comeback going. You can see they have built up not that much money, surprisingly, with how many rounds they've won in a row. And Luminosity themselves still have a buy here, so they still have to be slightly worried on the OpTic side. I'm sure they'll be looking for a few more rounds on their CT side of things. And Luminosity seemingly are grouping up around the A site early. We saw some quick aggression previously with just the pistols work out. They might think of doing the same here with the rifles, but in the meantime, OpTic themselves are pushing out towards B, so if the push doesn't come quickly for LG, they could just get sandwiched in towards this A site push.
Yeah, look at HS. He already gets so much information out of that rotation coming through. But PKL is gonna find them, and that's gonna give away the information of LG. Let's see how they're gonna react. Are they still committing towards the A side, knowing that OpTic has the information, or are they actually gonna rotate? Right now it seems like they're still committing. I have 1 player in mid and the rest towards Palace and Ramp.
Yeah, that was really awkward timing for LG. They've just thrown their smokes out. Now the smokes are gone, but they decide to push a little bit later. And this is such a weird decision from Luminosity. They will try and make their way forwards. Cello looks for the kill. The push comes out, but Cello finds a trade. Push continues towards the site, but they don't expect Magic's position. So many players stacked towards the A site, but again, Showtime finds the trade. It's still, however, the double AWPs alive to try and lock this down, and Alu does land a quick shot on towards Showtime, dropping down the bomb. And so PKL is the 1 man left. He's got time, he's got the bomb, but he's got an AWP holding his position, and that's going to make it difficult. Well, as I say that, Alu isn't quite peeking out aggressively to hold this angle, not wanting to risk leaving his teammate in a 1-on-1. Instead, he's going to allow Mixwell to hold from jungle to get him the information. As Alu peeks out, PKL had the chance for the kill. But now with 20 seconds left, he's just going to have to hope that flash works and cross to the site. That works out for him, though. But again, Alu is playing really smart here, just staying alive for as long as possible. And with 10 seconds left, he finally peeks out with that CZ. Very patient, very well played from Alu, as OpTic keep their win streak alive for their 5th round in a row.
Yeah, and LG, they will have a decent amount of money. It's not optimal, though. Looking at Yell, he only has $3,450. We're still gonna go for the AK without a helmet, LG without a lot of utility. And yeah, the last round, I feel like as soon as LG knows themselves, as soon as they spot out the player pushing out of B, they should know that OpTic Gaming has the information they're going towards A. And I feel like the weighted cost actually wanted to play the mind games. We wait a little, we make OpTic Gaming think we actually pushed back towards B after it looked like we're gonna go towards A. And that's maybe why I wanted to wait a little, but in the end they didn't really have utilities set up anymore, and that was the biggest problem for them. Let's see how this round is gonna turn out, because LG, they were losing a lot of rounds in a row, 5 in fact, and they finally wanna find 1 back.
Look at Showtime go here. He's got no support from teammates, and yet he's pushing this A site. And that's going to sell the fake perfectly, as elsewhere Luminosity gain control of B, with only Freiburg attempting to hold that off. Showtime, with such unrelenting aggression pushing through the flames, works perfectly in this round. And he really did commit to sell that fake, which worked incredibly well. The flash came in there, and Mixwell nearly got punished for it, but he does manage to fall back. And again, retaking this B site is incredibly difficult when LG still have this utility left. So I wouldn't be surprised to see OpTic just going for the save, as the fake works perfectly. For some reason, HS goes through the smoke with a flashbang. That doesn't work. So the double AWPs will be attempted to save. And again, remember, OpTic's economy has been teetering on the edge for a while now. So this round loss could be critical for them, especially if PKL catches Mixwell with his knife out. That's one of the AWPs already lost. That's a huge investment gone. And that could spell issues for OpTic coming into this next round.
Well, that's definitely not helping them to lose a round at this point, where the economy isn't optimal. The funny thing is, though, they're still gonna go for the double up setup. Mixwell having a lot of money. I mean, it wouldn't be enough to drop 2 M4s like Alu just did because he saved his op. Yeah, still gonna go for a double up setup, 2 M4s. Freiburg also with the 5-7. So it seems like some of the players here on the side of OpTic Gaming still want to go for this 5-7 buy. And let's see if this is gonna work out for OpTic Gaming to find back into this after winning 5 rounds in a row. LG is gonna catch them, take the round, while OpTic Gaming doesn't have a lot of money. And if they take this round, they're really gonna run away with Mirage. Won't find the pick here early on. Showtime trying to hit the shot. Thinking they might push up, they might go for an aggressive play in Alu. In fact, does. Showtime is ready and he's gonna take him down.
Yeah, that does allow Freiburg to recover the EP though, so let's see what Freiburg's got in his locker. You can see him smoking that off to try and fall back to safety, and that should be possible as he nearly gets that shot through the smoke there, but will now just decide to fall back. In the meantime, if you take a quick look at your map, you will see Magisk pushing all the way through Palace. And that will give a fair amount of information over to OpTic that it's likely to be this B split coming through, but Cello is still holding down T-Spawn. Oh, Cello doesn't react quickly, but he finally spots out the head. Seemed like both players were just looking at each other for a while there before they realized they were in each other's vision. And finally, it's Cello to react first to get that headshot through. And so now, with 30 seconds left, LG should just speed this up. They have the 2-man advantage, and there's no need for them to risk losing just because of the time alone. But they are making their way back towards A. And if OpTic were to get a few quick kills on towards the bomb carrier, there is a chance the time could become a factor. As the push comes forwards, HS is holding first. He's going to get sprayed through the box. There's one kill back for Mixwell, but he goes down. And those kills were huge for them, although Freiburg could go for the wallbang. He gets the kill trying to deny the bomb planter, but it doesn't happen. If Freiburg got that kill there, he could have won the round just off of denying the bomb alone. Doesn't quite come through, though, and now OpTic's economy is shattered.
Yeah, it was a hard shot to hit, and in the end, he got another kill, but in this case, it doesn't really matter, because OpTic Gaming, they need to go for an eco and base it all on the last round of the half. LG should go up to 9 rounds. That's great news for them. Gonna have those AKs, the AWP on Yell. Mixwell with the Deagle, the rest on stock pistols, and that's it. OpTic Gaming pushing out of A, but LG, I think they are ready. They spotted those players. Looking, trying to get out of there, but half the bomb can take it towards B really fast, while the others are taking care of those players pushing out. Whoa, wait a minute. Might get some kills here.
Oh, great spray down from Nekiz, shutting that down, because that was a little bit closer than Luminosity would have hoped for as the USPs push forwards there. You saw Yell was trying to hold that with the AWP, and even though he lands those 2 shots, he nearly gets overwhelmed. Luckily for him, though, Nekiz comes through just to make sure that the round will still be won. And so now heading into this last round of the half, you can see Yell going for the AWP. They've got the strong buy on both sides. OpTic only with, rifles for the team, not quite the AWP be able to be brought up. And they're going to use that to just push towards mid. And look at this, Nekiz is just going to get caught out here. He was all by himself. The push, though, will come towards A. And Magisk is holding this bomb site all by himself. Can he anchor this A site? Well, the Molotov comes in and forces him into the open. The rotate comes through and Freiburg gets the 1 kill. They're managing to get back towards the site, but still the kills coming through for the Brazilians. And so now the 2 European players will look to make their way back. It's Alu and HS to get towards the site, and HS is in towards this triple box here. You can see LG themselves just sitting back and waiting to see if OpTic go peeking, because right now, LG are really not making too much noise towards this site. They could always just go back towards B, but HS lines them up. It's only the 1 kill, leaving Alu by himself. A minute left. There's plenty of time for LG to make their moves. And as they spot out Alu here, Alu should get this kill, and he brings it back to a 1-on-1. The peek coming out from Yell. He needs to nail this shot with the AWP. And Alu himself with the rifle is still certainly competent. You can see the time ticking down, but still plenty of time for LG to play with if they can get that bomb. And Yell could just take the bomb and go towards the B site right now. Alu is playing this incredibly passively, but Yell just decides to hold the angle, knowing exactly where Alu is positioned to get double digits for LG at the half, and a very strong T side for the Brazilians.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, Alu's just cornered in, and it's hard to find anything out about this round, of what is happening in this 1 versus 1. Could he rotate? Is he still on the side? And Yell is just hoping for the curiosity. Alu kicking in, and it kicked in, and there we go. That's gonna be the kill for LG, and the round, those are double digits. the board, 10-5. And OpTic Gaming with the pissed round. Gonna try to find back into this game. Have a lot of nades on two of the players and they're gonna use them towards A. The push is coming in. It's a retake play by LG, but actually rotating now, so they are ready.
Yell rattling off shots through the smoke, but not quite finding any headshots just yet. As OpTic push their way forwards, they're going to try and gain control of CT, but there's so many CT players sitting there, so that's not going to be easy for them to do. You can see the players push forwards. It should be Mixwell taking these first fights. He gets a quick kill. It's actually Magis to find one, and Magis finds a second frag on that hold, and that should be it. It's now Showtime and Yell are the last two left, but Magis just keeps going, finding a triple kill there over towards CT spawn. And so Showtime will try and get his way back into it, but already it seems like he's realized there's just too much for him to do. So OpTic really needed this pistol round to give them the best possible chance here, and they've managed to pick that up. And now LG will be on the back foot heading into this coming round. Showtime just looks for some exit kills, hoping to maybe build a little bit of extra money. But OpTic themselves will just hold on to everything. So not too much happening at the end of the round. Saving the Kevlar isn't a terrible idea. You can always buy up the UMP if you want now. And I mean, he was never really going to win the round, so I don't mind the decision too much. And they will go for the buys here. No UMP though, just a Deagle, and the rest of the players also investing into the pistols.
Yeah, and OpTic Gaming, they push towards the CT spawn really fast and had the higher ground there. And with this, it's way easy to line up a headshot and get your crosshair placement right, while LG actually also needs to know where those players are standing. And it's harder to actually pre-fire from there. And that made it fairly easy for OpTic Gaming to take control over CT, take those kills, win those aim duels, and meanwhile still keeping control of the bomb as they can just, well, turn around, get back towards the side fairly easily, and now they're just gonna take an early frag and start it off well already.
Yeah, it should be fairly easy for OpTic, especially as they're making their way towards A, where there is only Neckers on the hold. He's playing up close with this CZ, but he could just get caught off guard if the push were to come through ramp, and there it is. OpTic will find that A site fairly easily now. There is a player rotating over with that D quickly. I believe that is Yell trying to hold off from jungle, but again, he's going to be mollied back. There's just no real chance to do anything, so should be OpTic to just take this round fairly easily. Again, for LG, it's not a terrible idea to just save these pistols, because if they don't save anything, they wouldn't really be able to buy much into the next round. So I don't mind the decision to just go for the save, maybe stack these pistols towards a site and hope to get some kills coming into the future round. And that seems to be what they will go for. But already Mixwell, long range with the UMP, finds the kill, leaving just Yell and Cello to try and hold on to the little they have.
Yeah, one thing they could have thought about, and now they only have those two Deagles left. I mean, they still could think about it as this mid stack, where they just all stack up towards window, hoping for OpTic Gaming to take some mid control early into the round and just overwhelm them with all the players staring at them as soon as they push out. Could be an option here, especially with those Deagles. Oh, but HS is gonna find both kills, which means he's gonna get a lot of money. And Luminosity, they won't really have anything in this round. I mean, Yell has some extra money, but they're gonna get $2,400 after the round loss, which is just enough to buy an AWP glass cannon. And that's probably what he wants to do, so that's why he's gonna keep it. No buy into this round at all by LG. They just won't have enough money for the next round, and OpTic Gaming should have an easy time to clean up. They have 3 UMPs, can stack up some money with it, and overall can also just stack up some money in general under the players, as long as they don't lose any of them.
Wow, there's a quick kill for Showtime, so they will find the one kill on the round. Again, they're mainly just looking to hold on to these AKs on the OpTic side. That is, of course, the main aim as they get this round win. It's not guaranteed just yet, although as I say that, HS does swing out with the Cello does have that UMP himself. It could be worth saving that into the next round if you wanted to try and get some more utility alongside that buy. And there we go, Magisk does take him down, so Cello will not be able to save that UMP. There is HS coming forwards, looking to spot out Yell again. It's pretty standard, although, actually Yell found that shot, sorry. Didn't expect to see him get the kill, but again, Neck is the one man left. Not too much going on. A couple of kills at the very least, but the 2 AKs saved. And now coming into this buy round, we're expecting to see Yell buy up the AWP, but we'll have to see if OpTic go for the same on their T side. And if we do, we could see some fights towards mid early on.
Yell actually could have gone for Kevlar with that helmet and the AWP with this kill he just got, but in the end he's deciding to go for some more utility. There's this AWP, flash, and the smoke, the others on him force. Just needs to care. Hit the initial shot. Don't get tagged, else the aim punch is kicking in. And he will. And fall back instantly. Not gonna risk it without armor.
Yeah, he's falling back, but the push continues, and Yell nailing these shots up close. Oh, that no-scope at the end there was beautiful from Yell to find 3 kills in towards Connector. Almost using that AWP as a shotgun at that range, as now the rest of OpTic will try to make their way towards the A site. And try as they might, Neckers will just line them up and knock them down, as Luminosity take the first gun round into their favour incredibly convincingly. Of course, OpTic still have plenty of money for the buy, but if LG continue to make plays like that, especially with the double AWPs now, then they have every chance here to pull through on Mirage.
OpTic Gaming with 4 AKs and the AWP. Alu is actually AWPing on the T side. That's interesting to see how they switch up the AWPs. I mean, they were playing a lot of double AWP setups on their CT side, but, well, seems like Mixwell and Alu both are feeling confident AWPing for the team, not having the main AWPer as it seems like. I mean, normally it's probably it is probably normally Alu who's picking it up. It's just for Mirage where Mixwell might prefer it over him on the CT side. Let's see if Alu can make the difference with Luminosity having the double AWP setup on Showtime and Yell. Showtime actually getting tagged, wants to play it safe, instantly gonna fall back. Window smoked off, so OpTic Gaming gonna take some mid control. There are 3 players there, pushing up, taking over connector as well, playing towards short additionally. So they're just gonna clear out those angles and slowly but surely take control. Have a player towards Palace as well. Either they're gonna go towards A or go towards B, and then Magisk is just gonna work as a lurker. But looking at the setup right now, Luminosity is somehow thinking this is gonna be a B go, having 3 players rotated over there. 1 player holding towards CT, between CT and window. And then they have this 1 player on A, kind of playing for the retake, is gonna get smoked off. And now OpTic Gaming should find a free bomb site, but Neckers, he's taking the challenge.
Yeah, I don't mind leaving 1 player on A, but I prefer it to be an AWPer to try and get that quick kill. You can see Neckers can't really do anything here, and look at the spray from Mixwell doing huge damage through that box. Neckers down to 30 HP, and again, a 5-on-5 retake is never going to be easy. At the very least, there's not much utility for OpTic, so that gives LG some hope on the retake coming forwards, but Mixwell is going to line them up. 2 kills for him. PKL finally shuts him down and gets a 1-tap on towards Alu. So this round isn't over just yet, because LG will be making their way back towards the site. With kits in their hands, there is a chance for them, but again, Magisk swings out from Palace. I'm surprised to see him go aggressive there. He was in a decent position to try and just watch towards the bomb, but he is happy to peek out, get those kills, and it works out for OpTic. And oh, the gamble for LG doesn't work out in that round, and you can see what it means for them again with their money sort of on the edge. They could go for a buy, but it wouldn't be great, so they're just going to go for pistols. Yeah,
gonna have a buy next round, so they're still fine. They won't give too much away to OpTic. They might not even have the chance to even it out. Gonna go to double digits, and I feel like it's really hard for CTs to retake in a 5 versus 5, and especially in buy rounds, because you have so many corners to check, and even if you're 5 players, try to overwhelm them. It's really hard to do, especially if there are crossfire set up, and you need the utility to deny it. And yeah, OpTic Gaming this round seems to be fairly easy. Showtime might get a frag there, but he should get refragged. Does he? Oh, I was scared. I was really scared. He picked up the AK and still didn't get fragged. I saw some players getting a frag out of that and then turning the round around, but in this case, Showtime still is gonna fall, and OpTic Gaming will secure round number 10.
Ooh, nice taps at the end there from Freiberg, making up for that sloppy spray earlier by finding a quick headshot there. And OpTic, yeah, they've really worked their way back into this game on their T side. We can see now LG going for the buy yet again, but Showtime won't have that second AWP that they bought up previously. It's just going to be Yell having to go glass cannon. You can see he's literally invested all of his money into that AWP. $0 left in the bank. And so he's going to have to hope that that firepower will work out for him, as PKL will be holding off mid at the early stages. But of course, the smoke's coming in. Fairly standard to see mid control come early on from OpTic. And then the question is, where do they go from here? Because LG don't really want to compete too much over towards mid. When the smokes come in, there's not too much you can do from window. You can try and peek from short maybe, but even that is difficult, as we see Cello forced back by the flames. Smoke coming up, and OpTic
Look at Mixwell.
might think about a faster play. Oh yeah, how did he get there?
through window, and they force the player out of the ladder room, and with this, they have no clue this is happening. This is such a huge backstep, look at this. Yeah, that should be dead any second.
The trigger? Okay.
There we go.
I thought he was going to try and get more, but he only gets the 1 kill. However, now look at Neck is in all kinds of trouble, spraying away, but OpTic will find the trade. So now PKL has so many angles to watch towards. Push coming forwards. PKL, I think, just spotted out the edge of Freiburg, and Showtime, in the meantime, gets a kill. There is PKL to find a frag of his own, so OpTic falling apart on the A play here. Showtime peeks out another kill for him as the flash is perfect. And so Magisk left 1 on 3. Can certainly pull this off as the dink comes in, though. Oh, great flick from Magisk for the first kill. But still 2 more to find. Flash coming through. He's going to cross forwards. Magisk gets the second. Looking for the final kill here. PKL needs to be careful. Magisk 4 bullets. Whiffs the spray, and so PKL does just about close it out. But again, Magisk takes it incredibly close, and OpTic can still pile on the pressure with another buy here.
Yeah, I mean, look at the money of LG. They won the round, but it's not really looking like they were the ones winning, because their buy is gonna be really weak. They have 2 pharmacists, 1 UMP on Cello King, the AK and the M4. Only 1 defuse kit. Utility-wise, it's actually looking quite decent, though. They were really focusing on utility this round and didn't want to overbuy on M4s. That's nice to see by them. I'm gonna take some early control here towards Palace, but Majiski's ready. After shining in the last round, almost clutching it out, he's gonna get an early kill for his team. That's a good sign. And there are other players pushing towards B. If they hit the right time, they actually can take control of it. Alu, will he find the no-scope? He actually will. And OpTic Gaming, they're just expecting those pushes to happen. They are set up. I wanna wait for a mistake of Luminosity, and they actually don't only do this 1 mistake, they're making 2. And that's gonna give OpTic 2 free kills. And let's see if they can win the round out of that. 1 player is gonna get scary, and that's gonna be Cello King.
Yeah, elsewhere though, Magisk has just opened up the A site, but Cello is still trying to shut this down. The UMP doing an incredible amount of damage, and Alu just goes in with the Glock to find him. Showtime, the 1 man left, looking for a first kill, and he sprays away, taking HS low. And there is the frag. So OpTic overextending just a little bit here, but again, Magisk is pushed out on towards A. So the bomb can go down fairly easily, and with Showtime being so low on health, not too many chances. Already, Magisk pushes forward to catch him off guard. And again, remember, LG just keep getting their money reset, and if this continues to occur, it really feels like OpTic are going to work their way back into this game. Every time LG win a round, it seems like it's not that convincing for them. And then, you know, only surviving with 1 player in the previous means that they, of course, just get shut down with a weaker buy in this one. They're going to take the time out here, and I think that is certainly understandable because right now they're really looking like they're in trouble. Even with the 1 round lead, it seems like OpTic recently have just been working their way back into this one. And I mean, we saw the double AWPs in that 1 round work for LG, but I don't think they've really been able to go back to that because of these economic issues. So maybe they do just need to save up a lot and get sort of full nades, a proper full buy together, and hope that that can pull them through.
Yeah, I feel like one of the best choices would be just go for like a double full eco and maybe only upgrade a pistol, but they're gonna go for the full force, which means if they lose this round, if they give this away, OpTic will also take over the lead, and then Luminosity, yes, they will have a buy, but it won't be a great one because they will lack heavily in utility. So this is a huge risk to take, because right now this is more like saying, okay, we want to win this round with this force play, because if you don't win it, you're in such a bad spot, even of course if you still can get towards a buy round. And they're gonna push towards mid, trying to overwhelm them, but wow, Mixwell and Magisk already ready, and they're just gonna take them all down. This is the worst case scenario for Luminosity.
Yeah, they were hoping it would be easy for the CZs, but it was not the case. Easily getting shut down by the AKs, and again, not too much to happen at the end of the round here. OpTic will just be taking this round. We'll go back to 12-12, and LG, remember, went for the force here, as we were saying, and this was a gamble. However, now they're probably just going to have to double eco to get that buy back, and so OpTic are likely to regain the lead. And considering that first map went in their favor, I'm sure OpTic will be feeling great about their chances now. You can see Showtime trying to see what he can do, but we're not unlikely to really see anything come out here. OpTic should just exit towards the same positions together if they wanted to save their guns. You can see a couple of players straying a bit too far out, but it doesn't seem like they're going to spot out Showtime just yet. And remember, the next buy is likely to be almost no investment from Luminosity, so even saving a CZ might be some value for Showtime. In the meantime, of course, OpTic themselves, like, they're just going to build up money in this round, you would think. There's going to be almost no investment from LG, and as we head into the late stages of this, with very few rounds left, that money can really sort of affect LG. They might just have to win out against full buys for the rest of this game, and that makes it much more difficult.
Yeah, and this EZ will only help if they really can secure a gun into the next round. Let's see if Showtime can do so. He's close by towards ramp, and that is a kill and almost a second Freiburg with the refrag, but I don't feel like he can defend that AWP. So that would be an AWP for LG, and they won't be able to buy up an AWP from their own money. So saving an AWP into the next round, that would be huge on their side, but the bomb is actually moving towards A. They want to deny LG any chance to secure this AWP into the next round, and that is perfect. They're gonna get the refrag. It's only Cello King left alive with this. OpTic Gaming, they're gonna take over the lead 13-12, and Luminosity, I talked about this. They will have a really bad buy into this round. It's gonna be M4s all over the board. Normally, if you work against a full buy of OpTic Gaming, you wanna have more than that. You have one diffuse kit, some of the players really lacking in nades. I mean, Cello King only has the smoke, PKL Neckers only have a flash in the smoke or a grenade in the smoke. It's not looking good, and if OpTic actually just works with the time they have, they can bait out so much utility of LG, and then it's so hard for them to answer as soon as the push is coming in.
Yeah, from the OpTic's perspective, though, they are just going to go with what they've been basically doing every single round, taking that mid control early on. And with there not really being an AWP on the CT side, they're not competing too heavily for mid, but there are players sort of around connector ready to try and shut down the push if it were to come through any further. You can already see one of those players being Yell up close, and certainly remember that one round he held this position with the AWP. Let's see if he can do the same with this M4, as OpTic seemingly are going to make their way forwards, but possibly not in towards connector, because the bomb is currently leaning towards B, and there goes PKL. Despite the pop flash for Mixwell, the peek comes through at the perfect time for PKL to get that first kill. And so now as OpTic split their way towards the B site, they still might have a chance to do just that, because Alu is going with the AWP. Still, they're going to have to take down Cello and Showtime. That's not going to be easy because they're playing off of each other. So as the push comes in, Freiburg needs to win this fight. But now Alu is all by himself with the AWP, and that allows Showtime to open up. Here comes the push, but Showtime shutting it down. HS finds the kill back, but there is Cello. Really nice setup from LG there. And as soon as Alu is the last man left on short with the AWP, it's tough to see what he can do from that position against two opponents. Even if he lands one kill, he's always going to get traded on. So now it's OpTic themselves to take a timeout as LG finally get another CT round on the boards.
Yeah, that was beautiful played by Showtime and Cello King. Just as soon as he finds the kill in ladder room, peeking out, hoping for a second player in short, covering the mate, and in the end, this is perfect, because you want to go for the refrag, but you won't focus on the position of short anymore, and out of this, you can't even get the refrag, plus LG is gonna get another free kill, so in the end, you get a huge advantage out of that. Beautiful play. The only risk is really if OpTic Gaming are coming from B apps and overwhelm them there, then it might not work out that well, especially if they smoke them off, if they use smokes towards B, but this didn't happen. OpTic Gaming got shut down. Now they need to go for another buy, trying to shut down LG. LG winning around with not a lot of utility, but with a great setup. OpTic Gaming wasn't ready for have another buy, so they could reset the money of LG yet again. It's actually such an important round for both of those teams, but way more important for LG, because there are already a map down.
Yeah, OpTic already heavily leaning towards that bomb site, and with Showtime being the single player from LG holding it off, if he doesn't spot them out quickly, they could be in trouble, because you can see the 3A players very far away from where the action could come through. As the nades come over the top, here we go. Showtime will realize it's going to be a B play, and he's all by himself, fully blinded. He's going to get the first kill, though, dropping down the bomb. Looking for more as they just jump out in towards him. 2 kills on the whole for Showtime is incredibly impressive, all by himself. Still, though, control of the bomb site, and elsewhere, Magisk goes down. So now Alu and HS have to try and make their way forwards, and Alu does peek out quickly to get 1 kill. He's going to go further as he peeks towards short, looking for this angle. He spots out the edge of the smoke. And so it's another kill for Alu, who nearly gets the third, but just decides to fall back into a 2-on-2. Every chance now for OpTic to close this out in the clutch. as both LG players will be coming through from kitchen, and they're both going to push through together to attempt these trades. Neck is going in first. Spots out the man towards bench, but it's HS to get an instant headshot to leave Yell by himself. And OpTic swing it back into their favor. Alu gets a great triple kill, and that is a huge round for OpTic, because that round alone might just win them this series when you look at LG's money.
Yeah, money reset coming through. What a beautiful round by Alu. And they're just gonna go for the force buy here. It is enough to get them 4-2 pharmacists, the UMP and the Deagle. I mean, they could, to be honest, they could have ecoed up and then buy up next round. It still would have been a decent buy, but right now, just going for this desperate force buy, going for a push early on in mid. Push is coming through, Flash is there, but OpTic Gaming, there are 3 players towards mid, so they might really break apart and actually set up OpTic Gaming for the victory. But Showtime is still taking the first frag.
Here comes HS in the back. He gets 2 kills, flicking back up towards PKL. And that kill rare might make a huge difference, because you can see LG spread out across the map. Unless Neckers can get a kill quickly on towards A, or Cello one towards mid, it's going to be tough to see how LG can work their way back here. You see Cello with that dig is holding an angle towards mid, and if he were to get a quick headshot, there is a chance for him to try and get his team back into this round. The timing nearly good, but instead they decide to fall back, and now OpTic may just group up for this A site push. Again though, Neckers is here with the UMP, so if they don't clear this position properly, that could become an issue for them. They also have to be slightly worried with not having any smokes here. They are just going to have to push towards the site itself without too much cover. But still, the push is forced by Neckers, who goes up quickly. Oh, he comes so close to the kill, but Magisk replies with a headshot to leave Cello all by himself 1-on-3. He's got the Deagle in hand, and he's going to hope to be gifted a free kill, and the bomb is planted with no cover there. The timing was nearly right, and if he peeked out a little bit sooner, he may have been able to drop down the bomb, but Alu helps his brother out, gets the kill, and now LG are going to have to win with a pretty grim buy.
Oh yeah, they went for this really desperate force buy. And it might just not work out for them, because right now they need to force up yet again, and it's even worse than in last round. OpTic Gaming, they are on match point. The Scout and 3 CZs now, as Arno is already taking this early kill. They're just shutting them down, and that might be OpTic progressing, throwing LG out of the qualifier. They put up a strong fight on Mirage, but this most likely will be over.
Showtime, the one man left, will fall, and in the past OpTic have struggled a bit to close out some games, so it's good to see them here when it comes down to the clutch come back here on Mirage and take this series.